Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming in Miniature video. In today's video, we're going to continue on with our What is in the Box series. And in today's What's in the Box, we're going to look at Plastic Soldier Company's early war German heavy weapon box. That's 39 to 42 early war. Okay, and it looks, and Plastic Soldier Company supports a game called Battle Group, which Battle Group can be played in a variety of different scales, and they make miniatures for 15 millimeter, 20 millimeter, 28 millimeter, whatever you desire. I personally play in 15 millimeter. This box is set up for that scale. 1/100 scale or 15 millimeter. Now it says you get 52 figures and 16 models. That's a little odd. I consider figures to also be models, but you know, that's okay. But I think what they're talking about with the 16 models is the Pack 36. It's a 37 millimeter anti-tank gun. You got the MG34 medium machine gun. We've got an infantry gun, 75 millimeter, and we got the 80 millimeter mortar with crew and a spare flamethrower. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the box. Okay, now this is one thing I really appreciate from the Plastic Soldier Company. All of their box sets come with a pretty just straightforward painting guide, like boots this color, rifle this color, flesh, and then different colors for their gear. I really like that. And then they show you like what you should prime the guy with. And all of this is based on the Vallejo paints, which, as you can see over here, I use a lot of Vallejo. Okay, suitable for Battle Group, which is their game that I personally play, and that's for or by the Plastic Soldier Company. All right, now it says you get 4 80s, 80 millimeter mortars and crews, 4 MG34 tripod and crews, 4 Pack 36 anti-tank guns and crew, 4 75 millimeter infantry guns and crew, and 4 flamethrowers. Pretty straightforward. All right, let's open this box, take a look, and see what you actually get in this box. Because you never know. It could be a surprise. Empty box? Okay. We get 4 identical sprues. These 4 sprues, polystyrene plastic. I'm going to set these off to the side. We will take a look at one of these sprues, identify the pieces, and then what we'll do is we'll zoom in and get a pretty close look at them. But in addition to the sprue, we also get a fairly detailed sprue description, or I should say the part identifications. Like you'll see wheels up here for the infantry gun, 2 different styles. You got a spoked one and a solid one. And then you got these tires here for the infantry gun. And then it tells you all the stuff you get. You get the mortar, the bipod, you get the mortar crew, which are these guys here. You got a flamethrower right there. We got the medium machine gun. We got the anti-tank gun crew there and there, and the anti-tank gun itself. Pretty straightforward. I guess they call that an IEIG 18, and it says it's a 5 millimeter. Well, we know it's not. It's a 75 millimeter. It's a typo. No big deal. And this is their early 15 millimeter heavy weapons. Now, what's kind of cool about early war, they still used the 8mm mortar, 80mm mortar in the late war as well, and they still used the infantry gun and the flamethrower and the medium machine gun. The 37, not so much in the late war, but I'm sure it was still around somewhere. All right, so let's take a look. We just learned about the sprue. Now let's take a close look. Not a close look, but just take a look at the sprue real quick. Okay. This is the way the sprue is designed. None of these crew here have any bases. It looks like they are going to be needed to be glued down to a multi-base. This flamethrower does have a single round base. That round base looks like it would be compatible with a Flames of War base that has a cutout circle specifically for that. Okay, so that looks like they would be very compatible. Plus, I would just use like a standard wooden base, possibly for like the anti-tank gun or the infantry gun, etc. I like the fact they give you a little bit of ammo crates that you can put on the base and really stylize your base a little bit. Okay, let's flip this over and take a look. Okay, you can look inside the base. This is a box open, this is a box closed. These are two different boxes. Looks like 28 is an ammo box and 29 is an ammo crate. Oh, ammo box. Okay, whatever. So I would think one of these might be compatible with the mortar, and then the other one would be compatible with the infantry gun and anti-tank gun, etc. Some of these are models. You will have to glue like the left to the right side. There's an arm attached to an ammo can where he's feeding the ammo into the machine gun, and then there's a couple of arms attached to a binoculars that you can either have the binoculars low or you can bring it up to the head, you know, however you want. I really like these, mainly because you get so many in plastic, and you could even do like conversions or use different crew. You know, if I wanted to use Panzer Grenadiers or something, SS crew for the infantry gun, I could do that. I wouldn't necessarily have to use these, but I don't see a problem with using these crew members. Plus, I might want to do early war stuff against the Russians or maybe France or something. Plus, if you paint them like a generic field gray, you can use them in any era. It's no big deal, you know. Nobody's going to get anal about it. All right, well, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. Let's just go ahead and zoom in on these guys and see exactly what you get. All right, guys, now you also might know that we're getting 4 sprues. So if I got 4 infantry guns, 4 machine guns, 4 flamethrowers, 4 anti-tank guns, etc. That's why there's 4. It's because you get 4 sprues. All right, now let's take a close-up look at this. We'll try to look at both sides of these models, but let's start with these tires. These are for the infantry gun. You get the rubberized one, then you get like the solid metal ones with like just a rubber strip around the outer edge of the wheel. You got the gun shield for the infantry gun, and then the 75 infantry gun. It's super short barreled howitzer. 80 millimeter mortar. You got a little spot there for the cross. It's got quite a bit of detail for a 15 millimeter model, you know, especially like rivets and things. Okay, and then we got the flamethrower right there, ammo can, And we'll flip it over, you get to see both sides. And like I said, the binoculars guy. 3 crew for the infantry gun. 3 crew for the mortar. Then you got the machine gunner, which you got to glue the left and the right side on him. He has no arms, so he'd probably be the binocular guy. Or he might be, well, he's reaching out. That's going to go on this guy. So this is probably an anti-tank gun crew. And then it looks like you got some back kit that's going to disguise the fold, the seam line when you glue the 2 halves together. Gun shield for the anti-tank gun. Whoa, almost dropped it. Anti-tank gun there. And if you've got any half tracks that need an anti-tank gun, you could do a little conversion, like trim the bottom, that little lip right there. You could cut that off, and you could stick this anti-tank gun on the front side of a 251, making it a 251-10, or you could even convert this into a half shield with the anti-tank gun and put that on a 250, making it a the 37mm anti-tank version of the reconnaissance half track. All right, we're still looking at the backs of all these guys. I'm looking at like canteens, but not a whole lot of else on these guys. You wouldn't, your gun crews and stuff don't need a whole lot of gear. These guys do have quite a bit of gear, but they're probably for the mortar and the machine gunner, which would be more infantry style uniforms. There's the back of that flamethrower with his canister. Okay, I think I'm going the wrong direction. And then there's the ammo crate and case. And then the other halves of these guys, it looks like. Anti-tank gun looks like it would be super easy to put together. And then there's a closed crate and an open crate. All right, flip it over, take a look at the other side. All right, we got the back side of those crates, or the bottom side, I should say, the bottom side of the anti-tank gun. You got the wheels, the crates, the pieces that would cover up the seam when you glue these 2 halves together. Anti-tank gun. Now you can see like a loader for your anti-tank gun, machine gunner, and that guy's probably using, where is it at? Okay, this arm down here to feed ammo into this machine gun. He's got his hand up. I think these are all the mortar crew, but you can mix and match them. There's nothing going to stop you from doing that. And there's the other side of those wheels. And the infantry gun, carriage, gun shield. These models would be super easy to put together, paint. You could get a whole platoon of anti-tank guns, a whole platoon of infantry guns, a whole platoon of machine guns, a whole platoon of mortars, and then flamethrowers you can intermix with your like assault engineers. All right, now because this set of miniatures is kind of packaged for a game called Battle Group, they don't provide you with any bases, because basing is really up to the player how he wants to base it. You can play man-to-man individual. Your crews, you would put multiple figures on a base, making it a multi-base, but you don't have to do that. You can individually mount your figures. I personally use Flames of War bases, like he's got a machine gun there, anti-tank gun, infantry gun. This is an extra wide base, not sure what's up with that, but that's player preference. You don't have to base them. You can base them however you want. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming out and watching this What's in the Box. Look for more of these videos as I get different boxes in. And one of the reasons why I do these videos is for collectors or players out there that are considering maybe I need to get some infantry guns. If I get this box, will I get everything I need to supply those infantry guns? Or I've seen this on sale online, and it tells me what's in it, but what do I actually get and what do they look like? And that's what this video is all about. That's what this series is all about. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.